I'm in Bergen, Norway, standing in front of Bryggen, UNESCO World Heritage Site. But I'm not going to be speaking about Bryggen, I'm going to be speaking about this port. This is one of the oldest ports of Northern Europe, dating back to the 12th century. In the 14th century, it was part of the Hanseatic League. But I'm not going to be speaking about the port itself. I'm going to be speaking about what happened at this port in 1944. A Dutch steam trawler named the Verboda was normally used for fishing until it was confiscated by the Germans for use in military transport. It was on its way from Oslo to Kirkenes when it required maintenance, and it came to this very port for maintenance. But there was one thing about this ship. It had 125,000 kilos of explosives on board, and you can guess what happened. On the 20th of April of 1944 at 8:39 a.m., the same day as Hitler's birthday, there was a massive explosion. The ships on board had ignited somehow and exploded. This caused a huge shockwave and even what some call a tsunami, and that flattened entire neighborhoods close to the port. 5,000 people were homeless, 160,000 people were killed, and 5,000 people were wounded. Initially, the Germans wanted to hide the extent of this catastrophe. Because it happened on Hitler's birthday, there was some talk of sabotage. But the reasons for the explosion were well researched, and they came to the conclusion that it was self-ignition. The rescue efforts afterwards were also very well documented. But the thing about this explosion was that it sent a piece of the anchor of the Verboda flying from there to somewhere there. I've now been walking for over an hour, and I'm standing on the top of Sandviksfjellet. The anchor of the Verboda was launched by the explosion and landed 3 kilometers away at an altitude of 417 meters, right next to this cottage. Now, the word for cottage in Norwegian is hytte. And because of that, because of the anchor landing next to it, it was renamed to Ankerhytten. I'm now standing right next to the anchor. It stands here, just like it landed on the 20th of April of 1944 from the boat Verboda. The flowers were put here as a memory to those lost in the absolutely devastating explosion. So now you know why this cabin, built by 6 boys in 1898, was renamed due to an explosion in World War II. It's something you probably never wondered or even asked, but it's an interesting story.